Hello, welcome to my channel once again. Charlie, the government of Ghana has introduced a system of education that is just blowing everyone's minds. You know, all the time we say Africans are talented, Africans are gifted and all that, but it is because of our educational system. All the time we go to school, read and write. We are not being given the opportunity to try or see whether we can also produce something, build something, or invent something. You see, but you will see a lot of people on their own building things, not knowing, Charlie, there are hidden talents in a lot of Ghanaian kids. And the government being able to introduce STEM education into the Ghana education system, I'm telling you right now, is just mind-blowing. What the kids or the students are doing is just crazy. There was a competition that was actually held in Ghana for this STEM education thing for all schools who are involved in this STEM education thing. And Obuasi Senior High School became first because they built a dialysis machine, a solar-powered dialysis machine that can be used in Ghana and around the world. Charlie, let's go into the video, watch, come back and talk.
Now, what do you have here?
Please, this is a solar-powered homemade dialysis machine.
And what is it about? I mean, how did it come about?
So please, when a person's kidney gets injured or diseased from an accident or maybe from a disease like nephritis, and the kidney can no longer perform its function like it's supposed to, which is filtering of toxic substances from the body like urea, excess salt, and then dissolved minerals, and then maybe excess water, then the nephrologist will opt for a dialysis treatment to get those waste substances out of the body. And this is the dialysis treatment. So what happens is that blood is taken from the patient. Okay, first an arterial, a vein and then an artery are connected to form a fistula, so that to give the patient a firm grip, because a lot of pressure will be needed to take the blood from the patient and then go through the whole process. So the red tubings that you see here take the contaminated blood from the patient, and then the peristaltic pump, they work under the principle of peristalsis. So we have flexible tubes. It will contract and then relax to provide the right pressure for the fluid to flow through, and it will come to the dialyzer here. You can see this fiber-like things here. Please, can you move the camera to this place? You can see this fiber-like things here. Inside is a fluid called a dialysate. So it has lower concentration than the contaminated blood. So the contaminants will move from the blood into the solution through diffusion, and then it works using the principle of diffusion and osmosis. So the purified blood will then run back to the patient. So please, I would like to hand over to Priscilla to help us with the whole operation of the device.
But before Priscilla comes in, what were some of the items that were used to build this dialysis machine, solar power dialysis machine?
Okay. So please, this thing that you see, it's a local board.
Okay.
This dialyzer, we bought them, the tubes, we got them. And this one too, we bought them. But we looked on this one, like you see, to make this in our school. And then we have blood pressure sensors, we have electrocardiogram, and we have these buttons. So most of them were locally sourced.
Right. Okay.
We have the solar panels, that one too, we got them. So our device operates on solar power. So in case there are power outages, the system can still run.
Interesting. You wanted your colleague to also come in. I don't know. Write your name.
My name is Priscilla Sampama.
Priscilla, what do you have for us?
Okay, so I will take you through how the whole thing works in this. Okay, so she made mention the contaminants being stored in the patient. So we have two tubes, the red one and the blue one. The red one will take the contaminated blood from the patient through the peristaltic pumps to the dialyzer, where the filtration will take place. So the blood is being filtered here and the contaminants will be remained in the dialyzer. And the filtered blood will pass through the blue blood tube back to the patient. So it's a cycle, it's continuous. It will take about 4 hours for all the contaminants in the patient to be removed. Okay, so the patient's vitals will be measured. We have sensors built inside the machine, and all the vitals will be displayed on this screen. So the blood pressure, the electrocardiogram, blood flow rate and temperature, all of them will be displayed here for the doctor to see. We have also programmed the machine to make automatic adjustments to any deviations. For instance, when there is a significant drop in temperature, the machine may increase the pump speed for to maintain the system to circulate. All the circulation should be constant and no deviation. So we also have visual alarms that will alert the doctor to any deviations that I talked about, so that they can attend to the patients.
Can this really work in a health facility?
So please, honestly speaking, this is a prototype, so it has to undergo some process of refining before it can come to the market.
More scientific refinery before it can come to the market. So now what are we waiting for?
We want investments because there are lots of things that we are planning on adding. We want to add robust peristaltic pumps that will actually trap the air bubbles that we can even see, because if they should go into a patient, it can end up killing the patient. So we have a lot of modifications to make.
What's really inspired the team to do this?
Yes, thank you for the question. Please, we heard of the dialysis treatment situation in 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙣 Hospital, and then we got to know how dialysis treatment is very costly in our country. So we decided to create an affordable dialysis solution using locally sourced materials, so that the cost of production will come down, so that in the next 2 to 5 years we expect that this machine will be deployed to hospitals and clinics in Ghana, so that the poor, those in far areas, those in areas with unreliable power supply, can get access to affordable dialysis treatment.
The competition held to showcase and encourage the use of STEM in solving societal challenges, so Obuasi Senior High Technical School claimed victory by a narrow margin of 2 points over their closest rival, 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙣 Senior Technical School.
It's a dream come true.
We watched several documentaries and we saw that it's a very major problem. Then we went to search the data about the dialysis treatments per square kilometers in Ghana, and we realized that it was in decimal, so it was really low. Then we realized that it's a very good project to work on.
So this project was actually there, like the idea was there for about 2 years, even before we came to senior high. But you see, when you identify every problem, the question you ask is how, and the how, answering the how took this long. So like after we finally came up together to create this, and then we started building, and then it was not easy because you see it's for human beings, so it has to undergo several series of testing. So like it took a very long time, and we were facing challenges with oxygen sensor inconsistency. There was no response time to parameter fluctuations.
For their win, the Obuasi team received the cash prize of 50,000 Ghana cedis, 2 laptops and additional awards. The competition was tightly contested, with 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙣 Senior Technical School earning praises for their own initiative, Gen Z Power System, aimed at solving the power generation issues, but ultimately becoming second. Yasantua Girls placed third, and the Presbyterian Boys Senior High School took fourth place.
Oh, I'm very happy because actually this is the first time Northern Region has been hyped to this level. I'm happy the Northerners are recognized this time around in STEM innovation.
Back at home, whenever there's a power outage, you cannot even move on the streets because the street lights are not working and the traffic lights are not also working. So that's where we got our idea from, and that's why we started building our project to solve all this problem.
This is an intelligent solar food drive. This system uses sunlight to drive food. We have seen that in our communities where people farm, they often tend to post-harvest losses and all that due to improper ways of drying the food. So with this system, they can pre-dry the food before it goes back. To use it, it's very simple. Open this chamber, which is here, then put your food inside it. So there's an electronic compartment here that is responsible for watching and to keep track of the temperature inside and outside. So my brother here will turn on the inverter for us to get used mainly where there is sunlight. So with this system, it will be able to power it. And if you are somewhere where there's no sunlight, you can use the grid system also. So you press the switch, then the system turns on. And when you press this switch also, it illuminates the whole system. In case it's in the night and you can't see, this light will enable you to see what's inside and what you can navigate through the system with these buttons. If you are drying maize or any food crop, you can go online and search what is the desired temperature that it needs. Then use these buttons here to set it to the high and low temperature. There are certain food that they require a range of temperature. It's a heater underneath the system which is able to heat it even in the night. There's no sunlight. How do I dry it? This heater will be able to produce heat for it to be dried, and these fans are responsible for cooling the system. So in case the temperature is high, these fans will activate and will draw out the hot air. And you can see that there's a shiny material inside. This material is actually a foil, an aluminium foil that is to repel the heat. So it will not allow the heat to escape from the system. The heat will be kept in it and it will be circulated around. The system is mainly used for rural areas, with our conclusion that food is lost and it is plumb wasted. So we have designed the system mainly for the rural areas where they are into intense farming, and mostly these food crops go waste due to improper methods of drying. So with this system, you can be able to dry food as you wish.
So this our smart ballot box.
Smart
ballot box.
Ballot box.
But this one has an alarm, and the alarm sounds immediately. A ballot sheet is casted inside to know whether a person has casted in one or more ballot sheets.
The rollers are made in such a way that it cannot take in 2 or more ballot sheets.
This thing you have here is for election.
Yes.
So when I want to vote, will you give me this one? I'm not going to put it in. Imagine this is the voting paper.
Yes.
And I show up and I have 2 of this. So it's less or more like this one is supposed to count
the number of ballot sheets.
The ballot sheet we put in.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, please.
So if I have this one and I put it in, it will count here 1.
Yes, it will display on the display board as
here.
1. Yes.
Amazing. So if I put in 2, like I'm a thief.
Yes.
And I smuggle to pick 2 of this and I put it in there, it will show 2.
No, it won't enter. It won't even enter the ballot box.
Sir?
Yes.
Yes.
However, if I am too smart and I take it one after the other, like fast, and I pick one and put it in, I pick one, and it will show that I've put 2.
Yes, it will show that you picked 2.
It will show that I've put 2. So do that thing and let us see.
Okay.
This is Obuasi Senior High Technical School. They want to show you that this is not a regular school.
Okay, so immediately you stand here, the system starts to operate.
No, come here again. Wait there.
Yes.
I say, that is not a joke.
So I'll put in the ballot sheet, and then the ballot sheet enters, and it will display the number of ballot sheets. Yes. I'm adding another one.
P2.
Yes, and another one.
So this is just crazy. All these hidden talents are there, and our government were just giving us this read and write thing. Charlie, just look at these kids being able to build something like this. All the time we get people, they go to the hospital, people who are sick, people who have problems with their kidneys, they go to the hospital just to go and do what? Get a dialysis machine so that they can remove toxins from their body and all that. Costs of that dialysis machine is just crazy. So Charlie, these students being able to build something like this, I feel like the government should invest more and help them build more for our own hospitals. We shouldn't wait for the white man to do what? To build this for us to go and buy. Or one politician will say, if we don't buy it from abroad, I cannot get my 10%, my 20%, my share. We should stop this thing and just build this more. Imagine these students are going to be building this for every hospital that we have in Ghana here, and for even the villages, the clinics, the smaller, because it seems like dialysis machine, before you see a dialysis machine, perhaps unless you go to Kolebu and some of the big hospitals that we have in Ghana, it is not all over the place. So for me, I think it's better they'll allow them to build. They should build it and spread it across the hospitals and the clinics and the polyclinics and whatever that we have in Ghana here, so that it will be easier. If someone is in, let's say, Obuasi, Akurade, wherever, they can still get access to a dialysis machine, because kidney problems in this country, we all know it is getting on the rise. Some time ago, I think beginning of this year, it was all over the place. We were hearing a lot of young people having problems with their kidneys. So if this is going to be a cheaper way of doing it or solving these problems, why not? The government should really invest in this dialysis machine so that these kids can do what? Produce more and more and more and more for the country, and even sell it to other African countries too, because this is a great initiative and this is a great innovation from these kids. I'm telling you, I'm so happy. Thank you so much for watching.